my God. The media is so stupid. Twitter, it's so stupid. The whole thing is just... We got to get offline for a little bit. I know there's a lot of serious stuff happening that we shouldn't be ignoring and we need to talk about. But my God, we're losing our minds. We are losing our minds. Paw Patrol is not being canceled. But the New York Times is trying to tell us that the protests are coming for Paw Patrol? I mean, come on. This was the most annoying article I've ever read. Look, there are some interesting things said in this that should be talked about, but using this clearly joking parody about people coming at Paw Patrol and trying to make it like it's real, Amanda Hess, this is embarrassing. And then, of course, Fox News, everybody else is sort of trying to react to this, saying, "Oh, outrage towards sparks outraged reactions." Sorry, there's the headline for you. Look, let's break this down. I always like to break things down so we all know what we're talking about before we do it. Okay, so this all started because Paw Patrol made a tweet. In solidarity, we will be muting our content until June 7th to give access to Black voices to be heard so we can continue to listen and further our learning. Amplify Black voices. Muted and listening. Look, there's a conversation whether brands who have nothing to do with the conversation should be doing this. I would say, yeah, everybody needs to be listening right now. And I respect and I'm glad people are speaking up because they haven't for too long. And it's time we actually have serious talks about racism. So, you know what? In that regard, I do. But at the same time, like, it's a kid's cartoon. Is it connected? Well, you know, of course, as they tried to connect themselves, they, you know, walked into it. And get rid of the cop or delete your account. Euthanize the police dog. Abolish Chase. I mean, these are clearly jokes. I mean, if you go through it, it's just fire the cop dog. I mean, people are reacting because Nickelodeon as a kid's show is trying to get into these politics, which that's what Twitter does. But then people don't listen to them. Chase is a good dog and only shows kids the right way to be towards others. Paw Patrol is my boy's favorite cartoon. My one son loves Marshall and Chase. The other loves Zuma. It's a wonderful cartoon. Kimber, look, I'm not trying to... It's a joke. This was a joke. They're not going to cancel Paw Patrol because it has a police dog. That's nice. They're just calling out the ridiculousness of just sort of like all media now is reacting to like cancel all cops. That's what a lot of media is doing. And so when Nickelodeon's stepping up in this conversation, which I do think all companies, everybody needs to be on the right side of this. We do need to listen right now. At the same time, it's like, stay in your lane a little bit. Like, of course you're going to be open up for criticism. And you know what? Okay, fine. They did it and they're open for the criticism. But the one I'm actually angry about is this. The New York Times, Amanda Hess, trying to then make this a story. Trying to like spin it. So let's look what she did. It was only a matter of time before the protests came for Paw Patrol. Paw Patrol is a children's cartoon about a squad of canine helpers. It's basically a pretense for placing household pets in a variety of cool trucks. Yes, that's what Paw Patrol is. I watched it with my son when it first came out, all the years, got all the toys. It is literally Transformers, and they all do help around Venture Bay. It's a fine, good show for kids to teach you about doing good for your community. There's not a problem with Paw Patrol. No one's trying to cancel Paw Patrol. The team includes Marshall, firefighting Dalmatian, Rubble, a bulldog construction worker, Chase, a German Shepherd who is also a cop. In the world of Paw Patrol, Chase is drawn to be a very good boy who barks stuff like "Chase is on the case" and "all on a police pup's day" as he rescues kittens in the tricked out SUV. But last week when show's official Twitter put out a bland call. They put out a bland call because they actually did put their money where their mouth is, and they went against the mold and said something. But it's bland. Black voices be heard. I don't know why that's bland. I think it's good they said it. Commenters came after Chase. Euthanize the dog. Defund Paw Patrol. All dogs go to heaven except the class traitors in the Paw Patrol. It's a joke, but it's also not. As the protests against rage police violence in their third week, the charges are mounting against fictional cops too, even big-hearted cartoon police dogs. Or maybe especially big-hearted cartoon police dogs are on notice. So she goes in and talks about sort of how the good cop is done on TV. You guys can go watch. You need a subscription to read this article, of course. They do that a lot. They do a little controversial op-eds to try and, wait, I got to pay $1 fine. But look, there is a conversation here that's the rest of the article that's, interesting. I think, has every right to point out and have people should have the conversation about how certain cops on TV are maybe not portrayed as realistic. But then, there's there's artistic justification for humanizing bad people and complicating good ones. It's hard to argue that a show like Watchmen, which had a black policewoman brutally beating a suspect who was white supremacist, or Unbelievable, in which two female detectives repeatedly collar the wrong guys, she's saying it's hard to argue that those shows would make for better television if their star cops acted more like German Shepherd Puppy. Because they wouldn't. It wouldn't be interesting. That conflicts and characters is important. Humanizing good, having good characters do bad things, etc. That's what real life is like. It's not black and white always. Sometimes it is gray on what people decide to do, and we have to have conversations about it. Good people have made bad decisions. We're all human. So look, the fact that she's trying to connect this and make this actually about a cancellation of Paw Patrol is where I really have the problem. For her to really go into this to try and say that, the images shown of cops engaging in kind of pantomime of protest, mimicking the gestures of its demonstrators until their messages are diluted beyond recognition. They reframe protests against racial police violence into a bland, non-specific goal of solidarity. These moments are meant to represent the shared humanity between officers and protesters, but cops already rank among the most humanized groups in America. The same cannot be said for the black Americans who live in fear of them. Cops can dance, they can hug, they can kneel on the ground, but their individual acts of kindness can no longer obscure the violence of a system. The Good Cop Act is wearing thin. Look, this is a dangerous statement. Why are we fighting the good cops? Of course we should all be supporting and wanting the good cops. Now, talking about how good cops are portrayed in media, yes, strong dialogue. It's important. I did a whole video about cops, and there is a little bit of a questionable about, well, is cops actually doing the right thing? Because they're making people sign those release forms. They're actually putting them in even bigger jeopardy, not just from a legality of sometimes people are caught on cops and they're caught and they were actually not guilty, but cops lives forever, and so it doesn't matter if the case is thrown out, that person looks like they're a drug dealer, right? So that's why I have a problem with cops, because it's just not good for the community to sort of see real people at their worst when sometimes they're not even doing a crime, but then they're just thrown in the truck and said they're guilty. Look, that's my problem with cops. I can see why cops right now is tone deaf. We shouldn't be doing that. At the same time, we do need body cameras. We do need to sort of be able to watch what's happening. I think that's going to keep everyone accountable. So look, how cops are portrayed on television is a conversation that's valid, but connecting it to Paw Patrol, this is silly. And of course what happens then? Everyone's going to jump on this, and now it becomes an actual argument. Now, as everyone's sort of complaining online. And then even like Eric Trump. This is the left wants to cancel Paw Patrol. These people are truly insane. The protests come from Paw Patrol. So he's tweeting that article. Ted Cruz getting on it. The absurdity has no end. Guys, this isn't real. This isn't real. I understand people are upset, and I understand there's a lot of stuff happening. People are overreacting. I'm not trying to devalue that. Like, there's a lot of people, worried about censorship and things that are also fair conversations. But come on, New York Times, you fueled this. This is ridiculous. These were jokes. We gotta be better as a society of not jumping on Twitter on a bandwagon to complain and say, yeah, wow, they're canceling Paw Patrol? No, go dig a little deeper and read the information. No one's canceling Paw Patrol. It just got renewed. Nickelodeon's not going to cancel their kids show. That's actually a really good show for kids. This is stupid. Look, if Nickelodeon cancels Paw Patrol, then we can all be up in arms. But don't react to tweets. Don't react to a tweet and a stupid article who's just from a woman who's clearly just trying to get clicks. That is clickbait at its worst. And when we use this movement for clickbait, that's ugly. That is dangerous. What are we doing? That just makes me so angry. So stupid. This is stupid. There's real serious stuff that we need to talk about. And she's going for clicks about Paw Patrol. That's going to completely dismantle the important conversations that we actually need to have, some of which she's putting in that article, mind you, but she's muddying the waters by doing it on a stupid clickbait. Come on, we got to be more serious than that. This is stupid. That article is ridiculous. There's so much more stuff we should be talking about, like the fact that, come on, guys, where were the writers? The writers are defending the episode where German Shepherd cop shoots the unarmed black lab 17 times in the back. Where were you then, huh? My point is, this has been a joke The Onion did for months. This is from 2018. We've already made this joke. People are clearly including this joke. This is The Onion doing serious satire here because it's making a point of why are we ignoring this in real things. Obviously, this doesn't happen on Paw Patrol. So the reality that the New York Times now can't even separate satire from the reality is really, really scary. I'm surprised this wasn't tweeted by these same people. Like, oh my God, what's going on? This is real. That's the reality of the internet of why you got to be careful. That's why we shouldn't just jump to conclusions like this and do articles about how the protests are coming for Paw Patrol, because they aren't. They aren't, and we shouldn't. And if it really does come to that, then fine. If Nickelodeon really is starting to cancel the show, then I'm with everybody, and I will be there in the front lines to defend my kids' right to watch Paw Patrol. But that's not what's happening right now. This is absurd. It's getting crazy. We got to watch what we're reading. We have to support each other. This isn't supporting each other. Dialogue is important. Clickbait nonsense to spew hatred and get people all angry that we're canceling kids' programming. That is not helpful. It's not helpful, media outlets, and it pisses me off because there's real things that the media has been doing this forever. It's just they're encouraging the violence. They're doing everything. That the media is what we need to be wary of. That's what's so crazy about. They control what the story actually is. They control what we actually see. And in some ways, the internet actually is really great for news because you can go on Twitter and you can see the video of George Floyd. So we actually find it and we can be mad about it. But the media, they'll decide whether they want to show that and whether that gets the mainstream press. So look, we got to be better about it. We all got to be better about it. We got to be careful. When we see this, we got to laugh at it and point out that it's stupid and that to not pay attention to this. This is noise. That's why I wanted to make this video, because it upset me. Serious issues are happening. We've been talking about them here on the channel. You can watch them in my live streams where we get into it. At the same time, I want to entertain and do some more movie content. We're going to do that too. But we got to have both. We can't be silent on some of the serious issues, and we got to call out the BS when we see it, so we can focus on the real deal and the real important stuff here going on in our world. What do you guys think? I'd love to hear your comments down below. Are you worried about Paw Patrol? Go ahead. Tell me about it down below. Be civil, but I'll get in there and argue with you if you're being not civil. So, or I'll just block you. Let's have real conversation. Let's not criticize or yell at each other or be disrespectful. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Be sure to subscribe. More content coming to you soon. And I'll be live tonight for Nerd Wars, 9 p.m. every Thursday, and Tuesdays, 9 p.m. live here on Popcorn Planet. Thanks, everybody.